is happening? You know, this person, and I was feeling so ecstatic. I was wondering, why am I feeling so ecstatic about problems, difficulties, confusions? I was like, yeah, this is really great. And I realized, yes, growth. See, growth comes from the fertilizer. See, growth comes from fertilizer. So the thing is, we have to be careful. We don't look at the fertilizer. Look at the rose. You know, roses have to have fertilizer. See? So that's the secret here. You look at, you know, like a lot of people think they hear that we don't follow rules, but we do. There's rules. Like Lolita was talking, we have certain rules here. See, the rules, sadhu sangha, come regularly, have a faithful heart, realize, really listen attentively. See, and it makes it easier, isn't it? You know, when you don't have this mercy, this is why the idea of mercy means mercy. Grace means grace. It's more than the grace of Vaidhi Bhakti here, okay? Because you have everything is more. That's just how it is. That's why the Lord came here to give us more, right? Why would the Lord come to this world? You know, I mean, Vaidhi Bhakti was already practiced, and it's just what people do when they're religious. They follow rules and regulations and all that. So why would the Lord take the trouble to come here as Lord Chaitanya and as Radha and Krishna in a more limited aspect? See, so the Lord wants to bring us closer to Him, because the closer we get to the true Lord, the more everything becomes more mercy, more ecstatic, more protection, more realization. So why, it's just like, why, like when you really understand the situation, it's like, oh yeah, we're don't we have natural greed in this world? We have greed for more, right? We want more food, and but then unfortunately we can't eat, otherwise things happen. We want more money. You get too much, it becomes a problem in your mind. A lot of people, and so we want more. And the thing is, the more thing that we really want, ultimately, the truth is, we want more intimacy with the truth, with the absolute eternal truth, and that's the Lord God. We call God, and that's even good for the atheist, because hey, you don't even have to believe. Just hey, you don't have to even believe in God, because in Vrindavan they don't believe Krishna's God, so that's okay. Yes, no problem. Come here and just get to know this beautiful personality, Radha and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and the devotees. They're persons. They're just like you. Just get to know them. You don't have to believe they're God. That might even be preferable. Yeah, yeah. You just start to love these people. Just automatically. Yeah. So anyway, we do follow rules here, and one of that's what you need to look at. What are people following the rules? Like, you could see a devotee may have some bad behavior, and maybe have conditionings, like all kinds of weird shit we pick up here. But the main thing we got to follow, are they following the rules? See, the real rules, not being good behavior. Are you kidding? You think good behavior is the rule here? No, that's for Vites. No, the good behavior here is, commitment and dedication to Guru, Krishna, and the Vaishnavas. In spite of whatever else, whatever's going on, are they still committed? You know? See, rules like that. See, that's what the Lord is looking at. So we have to learn to harmonize with the what the Lord is looking at. Like, I see people here, sometimes their behavior's not great, They have all this kind of conditioning, all this. But the Lord says, oh, they're following the rules. And they are dedicated to Guru. They're dedicated to Krishna in their heart, deep in their heart, aside from all the conditioning. They're dedicated to Guru Krishna Vaishnavas. So I'm going to reside there. I'm going to live there. See, that's what the Lord's showing me. So I'll show you too. And that's how you stay happy. See, otherwise you become a fault finder. You find fault with the fertilizer. No, don't find fault with the fertilizer. Let the fertilizer do its work. You know, look at how the Lord is choosing who He chooses. You know, regardless of what their external conditioning may be at the time. Yeah. So anyway, that's what kind of the Lord shows me. So I look for that, and that's what I praise. See, I praise what is the eternal rules. Oh, this person, Radha and Krishna, is ruling their heart. See? So the idea, and so people are maybe not so clear on like, should we praise Vaidhi Bhaktas? So the thing is, well, the idea, at least at this stage, um, where you can follow this rule if you can. First, you have to get really clear that what is spontaneous devotion, what is love of God, and when you realize what that is clearly, or that's the point, and that's part of these talks, is to distinguish really clearly what is the transcendental potency. See? Now, people are staying on the lower potencies in the modes of nature, even goodness, because of praise of it. See, they praise the mode of goodness. Oh, look at this person. He follows so nicely rules and regulations. Oh, he does pious deeds, stuff like that. Oh, we follow, follow that. So you praise naturally, but that's in the mode of goodness, and people do that. And they find people like that praiseworthy. Oh, this person is so great. He is austere. Oh, he look how renounced he is. Oh, look how they drink milk and fruits. They're fruitarian and milk drinkers. You know, remember that story? Oh, look how great. He's so austere and renounced. He must be the highest devotee, the pure devotee. See, he mix everything. And you notice Lord Caitanya, he wanted to separate that, didn't he? He wanted to separate the renunciates and all. I said, get that milk drinker out of my kirtan. I don't want him polluting everything. Can you imagine a milk drinker, austere, regulated, probably chanted 1 lakh of Hare Krishna a day? Get him out of here. He's polluting my thing. Why? See, this is what you learn in this Sangha. No one, not even the illustrious Acharya Dev or the Radhanath can teach you these things. Why? Because they don't really praise this kind of worship. Some of them may praise it in words sometimes, but not in deed. Okay? Not in deed. These symptoms are not manifested in their bodies as far as I've seen. I've been looking. I turn on Acharya Dev's videos sometimes. Say, okay, let me look. All right, any ecstatic devotion? Any tears coming? No, not today. It's been going on for 50 years still. Any tears? Any ecstatic devotional symptoms? No, not today. Radhanath also. No, not today, man. I see the hands go up, but any tears, anything, any bliss? Not today. See? Okay, so the idea is unless you're preaching, unless you're really clear what you're doing, there's a teaching in Chaitanya Charitamrita that I always remember. It's really great. One should neither praise nor blame anything in the modes of nature. See? Because if the mode of passion is in you, you're going to act passionately. So what good is it to beat a dead horse? We're going to say, look at that guy. He's so, he's this and he's that, and all these faults of the mode of passion going there. See, you're blaming it. You finding fault with the, but the person can't do it. He can't. It's manifesting, out of them. He's forced to act in the mode of passion, like Bill Gates. That's what I say. You notice I thank them for their service. Now that's pretty good, huh? I thank you for your service. You're nice. We need examples here. Bhagavatam is examples. Thank you for your service. See, mode of passion and ignorance. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not really. I'm just using it as an example. They're saying, okay, you see, that's because he's covered by that. He's forced to act like that, controlling, really greedy for more profits and money. He can't help it, man. He's going to do it. That's what he's forced to act like that. So unless you're preaching, you don't have to bother with that. Like if I were just chanting and Hare Krishna and just relishing those, I wouldn't have to bother. With just let him. He's going to do what he's going to do. His little stuff. On the deepest level, he's serving Krishna. Krishna wants to kind of clean the slate here a little bit. There are too many useless eaters in this world. See, and I'm sorry, man. That's really true. What they're saying is absolutely true, and that's why they're executing the Lord's order. Useless eaters. You know how many people? All the material. They're just materialistic. They can give a fig about the truth about God. And they become useless, more and more useless. So the Lord is wiping the slate clean. So what is there to? Why should I fight this? It's really true. But do you think I'm not going to do something about this? No. No. Hey, man, you useless eaters, you want to become useful? You can come here and become useful. You got a choice now. You can become useful. Come here, and the Lord wants to give Himself to you and make you useful. See, we'll teach you the Scripture. We'll teach you how the Lord thinks. Not, I only think. I just think. The Lord's thoughts. I like His thoughts. He's got the best thoughts of all. He said, if this world did not, if love of God was not in this world, it would be useless. And so love of God is lacking here, isn't it? Love of the transcendental Lord is lacking. It's even lacking in the Devotees now. Look, they're having a hard time, aren't they? Okay? So anybody who wants to live can come into the association of ecstatic devotees and become useful. No, that's just the truth. I mean, you don't have to accept it. You can be a useless eater and let these people control you. Let Biden over there bewilder you. See, bewildering Biden. He's kind of bewildered himself too. See, bewildered Biden. You can get Fauci to, I don't want to use the word. Starts with an F. You can. That's just what the Lord is doing now. You want to be raptured and saved, man? You want to learn things that nobody knows? Not even the controllers of this world, the demons right now, these controllers, the Illuminatis who have all this secret knowledge. You want to know what they don't know? And by the way, you Illuminatis, you can also come. You get a higher knowledge, a higher happiness, a higher ecstasy. Oh, and in easy peasy immortality. Okay? So, like that. Yeah. So there's no reason to praise or blame anything in the modes of nature. It's acting uniformly. Yeah. And so, yeah, and now practically in our preaching, um, you in your heart, you may associate, say, with people on the Vaidhi platform to help them, but always know with, have you made the distinction? You should be clear. Hey, man, do you see the difference between ecstatic worship and just worshiping external bhakti because it's external? See, now you don't have to praise. See, if you want to integrate that, you don't have to praise the Vaidis on the level. Praise that because they're praising their mode of goodness gurus. If they're even that, maybe they're they don't even see their guru might be in a mode of passion or ignorance. Maybe they're being cheated. I mean, big time by them. So you don't have to praise or blame anything in the mode of goodness. But if you're preaching and you don't want to get polluted, you want to be strong and not be wavering back and forth and all this stuff, and Like one day you're faithful, one day you're not, then get really clear. And that's what we're doing here. Hey, man, this ecstatic devotion is God's transcendental potency. If you praise that, if you cultivate that, if you serve that, that's going to be the result. You're going to get the result of ecstatic devotion, deeper and deeper into it. Okay? And that's what the examples of devotees here are doing that. When you see them dedicated to this, and the hypocrisy is just when you're like doing both, like, oh, you're so great, Jaipataka, or this, oh, you're just doing such good service to your guru, and they're serving gurus who haven't realized Krishna. See, you'll see when you get this clear that, hey, we have a mission here. This mission is on the order of Prabhupada, by the way, and it's more advanced. And you just get into what we're doing, like, oh yeah, man, let's praise this mission, praise Gohari because he's your guru, praise his speaking, praise what he's teaching, don't put his sayings up there, show Krishna that you're dedicated to this mission here, and then because the result will be ecstatic devotion. Yeah. So that's just what it is. Do you see me praising the Vaides? Now I'm using this thing. This is like a chopping technique. Just pointing out, trying to make a distinction to help the devotee see there's a difference between worshiping gurus who are not residents of Vrindavan and worshiping gurus who are residents of Vrindavan. It's a very important distinction because if you worship a guru and hear from a guru and develop faith in a guru, a living guru in this world, who is really a resident of Vrindavan, then that's going to be your result very quickly. That's the whole secret of why these beings come here. They quicken our evolution. They're the divine intervention we need. Otherwise, you're on slow pass. You can ask anybody here that's getting this and see, and ask them the question, would you have gotten this if you had met your guru, Gaurari Das? Oh, no. You'd be like inching along, confused by not making clear distinctions and not having experience of the transcendental potency, because very few people do. The Lord comes here as an example to show the transcendental potency so that people can say, oh, well, that's really different than a person in the mode of goodness, even milk drinkers and renunciates. It's different. As a matter of fact, it's not only different, it's better, it's pure, it's amazing. Has so many benefits that is not available for anybody that is worshiping in the mode of goodness, even. It's the consciousness of a living person that is influenced by the transcendental potency of the Lord is beyond all the coverings of the universe. Can you imagine the benediction you get from a portal that is pouring forth the transcendental potency into this world from outside of this universe that even a person in the liberation stage can't do? Hey, that's why it's taught Narottam's song that people sing every day but don't understand in the Vaidhi stage. From the real guru, that's the associate of the Lord from outside this universe. If you can't say, I'm in this world and not of it, you're not the guru, man. You're not a guru. You're not the representative outside this universe, man. And it's basically futile. Your worship, actually, ultimately, mode of goodness is futile to the Lord. People don't know that, but now they can know because the book is telling us it's just useless. It's futile if you stay there and you don't come to this stage. hey, you didn't make it, man. You go and maybe you enjoy in the universe, in the higher heavenly planets for a while, but you'll come back until you meet a liberated soul, and then you start tasting the nectar of transcendental love of God, life's ultimate goal. Okay? So why wouldn't anybody be dedicated to what we're doing? It's so rare. Look, not even Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta expressed it that much. It's so rare. This is so, you see the opportunity here. And that's what's a little bewildering because you think, well, I can't, I don't know. There's only a five, eight, what, how many people? 16 people interested in this here. Oh, but there are so many Vaidis out there, so many people, so many devotees, there's so many gurus. There's just that one guy over there saying all these crazy things, having all these mad talks. Mad words. But what did Krishna Das Kaviraj say? Oh, one is very fortunate to appreciate the mad words of an ecstatic devotee. They're laughing and they're crying and all these devotional mellows they experience. See, that's what the book says. What do you say out there? Do you praise that? Do you praise the mad words of a devotee? Because if you do, you're going to Vrindavan. If you're a little bit of both in two boats, you say, well, Devi Dasi, oh, it's so nice that you praise all these rules and regulations and these your guru, oh, you're doing so good and all that. Well, they're kind of in two boats. So for those persons, just to get really clear, and that's the whole point of this, and that's the whole point of this talk. Get really clear that we're doing something different, something very rare. And if you get behind it with all your energy, you're going to be happier than you'll ever be in your life. And Maya will not touch you. And you can see who is touched by Maya. They're in two boats. And they go flip flop. Oh, I'm really inspired. And then they go and associate, oh, you're so great. You see, you praise the mode people in the modes of goodness. Yeah, you can even in the mode of goodness, it works like that. And then you're just like, when you wonder why. Okay, but when you're praising the mode of transcendental uh, potency in coming through a transcendental mission, and you're behind that mission and you're into that mission, and that is all your eggs are in that basket. See, what did Jesus say? When your eye is single, your whole body will be full of light. See, clarity, life, energy, understanding. See, you'll be very close to the Lord and not be drawn away, because when you're drawn away, that's when the trouble starts. Oh, I just feel so, See, so anyway, that's why keep coming to sadhu sangha, and you'll see the Lord will help you spontaneously. Even it's so powerful. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, and when you go and do see, when you go, say you go back to the Vites to go and you have friends there, you can have friends, but no, like I think Shamaguri says, she knows in her heart that she's here. Okay, but you got to really increase that here and be very clear that the juice is not there. If you look to that for your purification, oh, I think this path is going to purify me too. Okay. Anyway, after a while, keep dipping here, and you'll see that this is all in all. You don't need anything else to be purified, really. More and more, you'll understand this. But sometimes, anyway, we get experience. Everybody's got their journey. So why is praise so important to attain something? Well, because of desire. Yeah, go ahead there, Lalita.
You're really pleasing Krishna with it. You're really pleasing the Lord by
Mhm.
praising the right path and by praising the right guru. He immediately reciprocates.
Yeah,
So he gives you ecstasy.
yeah,
So if you don't do that, you hinder your own ecstasy, your only growth. If you praise the wrong things, you make Krishna cry.
yeah,
Even my Krishna inside cries when I see others do it. So what to say about them?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's really the essence, like what she said. You feel it in your heart when you're praising. What are you feeling? You're feeling the transcendental reciprocation. Um, so yeah. So anyway, I do think I do not think so. I do not think so. What do you? So can you get more clear about that? What, what don't you think so? So anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. You can clarify what you say there. Uh, so the main thing, you hang out with here. This is you see, you don't have to confuse the Vaides too much by saying the Vaidhi platform. Okay, the devotees they have very great faith in rules and regulations, and if you say we don't follow rules and regulations, it's a complete misunderstanding. It creates you can tell them what rules you do follow. We do follow rules. Got to explain. You got to make bridges. Otherwise, there's no bridge. I think these guys are crazy. They don't follow rules. They're mad people. They're part of the world who don't follow their rules. We follow rules for God's sake. We hear, don't you understand? Rules and regulations is not just no, 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 no. No, it's not that. The rule of hearing chant. This is a regulative. You got to understand clearly rules and regulations of devotional service. Rules are hearing. This is a rule: hearing, chanting, remembering. You know, and serving, and all of these other. These are the rules of devotional service. The difference is we're doing this, so we follow those rules, and we follow them in association with devotees that are ecstatic. See, we follow that rule. They're not following the rule. They're following hearing, chanting, remembering in association with people that are not ecstatic devotees that don't have this mercy. Yeah, go ahead there, Lalita.
Yeah, if you say, I wish all of you a happy Ekadasi day today, and you're a Raganuga Bhakti, what kind of a message are you giving? You're giving the fight is a message that we are following that we are following Ekadasi as well, or that we do both, or no, be clear, be clear. You're here or you're there. You know, you say Shamagori said, I don't think it's purifying me, but then why do you wish everybody a happy Ekadasi day today? You see, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Happy Ekadasi. Happy Ekadasi. Um, I don't know if personally I don't think that's so. It's not so bad. I mean, you can have a happy Ekadasi. Well, but the
I
main thing, like she said, see, in her heart, she's dedicated to this. That's the main thing, and just be, just everybody. You got to notice, like she's got to notice personally. Maybe it's not a problem for her, but just let's wait and see. Just because it's hard to be unnatural. I mean, it's like Sachi. She said, "I just want to have the kir. I want to go to the kirtana with the Vaidis. I like doing it and all that." So, I said, "Okay, that's the Lord in your heart." Okay, yeah, that's the Lord in your heart pushing you in that. So go. There's lessons there. So Shamagori too, and there's if you're being pushed in that. Okay, you don't have to be artificial. Just be aware. This is, just see what the result is of what you do. That's all. And gradually, by keep dipping into this, things will. happen. Otherwise, it's too artificial. You can't. You got to be careful with this. You can't force people to stop doing these things, whatever it is. Um, but they,
I
it's
only want to encourage. I only want to
yeah, yeah,
encourage.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, it's good. Yeah, you encourage and yeah, and so the person, yeah. So it's like learning. It's like we're learning. We are conditioned. We got these. We're kind of living in two worlds. And then here we got new contact with this, which is a big thing, and it takes a while to integrate everything here. I mean, this is what do you call this is uncommon and unique for this time. Nobody. Oh, here we go. Yeah, nobody has actually done this in contemporary times to this extent. We're the first fruits, just like when Jesus was here. Nobody had did what he did. It's very, very unique. And because it causes, just like Jesus said, I didn't come here to promote peace. Troubles, like Lolita said this morning, she lost her family, this and that. That's one of the things that may happen and usually does when you get really into this. When you're like 100%, all of a sudden you're like water and oil. The oil there just doesn't want to mix with it. They just turn on you. It's like it basically what it is Maya is rejecting you out of her association. See, and you're because you've moved, she's letting go of you basically, because you're not letting them attach, and pulling you back. See? So that's one of the signs it happens. And then later on, you end up pulling them in because after a while, they like, wow, you're really into what you're doing, and we couldn't pull you back. They see that you're much happier than they are. They after a while they see this. That's why it says, and you liberate your family members because they're pulled where you are. You're not being pulled back to them. So it's the same thing in the Vaidhi thing. We may have some Vaidhi roots, but now we're being uprooted from that and being transplanted in this. And so you got to also, there's got to think, got to be a little careful that you don't get pulled back into that, like that one guy she mentioned, that came that wanted to play Mridanga, learn Mridanga. Well, I don't know. I'm coming to Krishna because I want to learn. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going. So they say, hey, I just want to go there and learn Madunga. Okay, fine, go and you just like anywhere else. You don't have to make it like be pulled into the whole thing. You just go like I go to a Madunga teacher. It could be a Karmi or somebody into Karma, and I
Yes,
go there to learn Madunga.
yes,
That's it. Don't have to take the whole package. Oh, to learn Madunga, you got to follow all these rules. Just
yeah. It was. He was here for a while. That man. He's a very kind person. But, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. See, Shamaguri said, calling it a Judas way and a hypocrite, what I'm doing, maybe. Yeah, yeah, sad, yeah. Yeah, because, in Shamaguri, she likes this in what we're doing. And it's just her
I didn't
journey.
say that. It was not me
Yeah,
who said
yeah, I know, I know. I saw that, I saw everything. I'm out there observing stuff. Yeah.
but I also know what he wanted to say, what he
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
show.
yeah,
He's not
yeah,
saying you're a Judas. He said this behavior is
yeah,
He's
yeah,
really, yeah.
yes, yeah. And by the way, Shamaguri, sadness is not necessarily a bad thing. Sadness is part of it. It's like a spiritual death. So you're gonna, this is part of sadhu sangha. The devotees feel that it was happening 550 years ago. Not the some devotees were just like they were totally, and they had other devotees that were a little bit this way and that way, and they would make their comments, and that's part of being in the sangha. Just it just is what it is, and it's part of the process of purification. You from all the interactions, and you may feel, and if you're feeling sad spiritually, that is not a bad thing. It's a transitional thing. It's a spiritual death. All devotees feel. And so, and that's why ultimately you'll thank all the devotees that's given you trouble, for not only you, but everybody here, because that's part of the growth. And that's where, it's like we're in this world is like a boxing ring. And you got Maya on that side, see? And you're trying to win your liberation, your salvation with God, right? But you got to box it out with Maya, and she knows the weaknesses, and sometimes you get like a blow to the belly, and you go "Ugh," like this, see. And so that happens in our sangha. So and sometimes you get like, oh wow, this hurt and all that. But anyway, it all goes ultimately. You become a champion, man. And people can try and give you an uppercut and a lower cut, and they sit you here, and you feel nothing, because you're really in your spirit. See, you're in your spirit, and your spirit is eternal. Your spirit, you can't hurt the spirit, you know. But if you get a little blow, you feel it, and it brings you down and all. So anyway, it's just part of it. And whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and you won't die just because of the person's bad behavior in here or something that It's just part of the process, So you just process it, and you'll be stronger for it. I mean, that's my experience. I've had got a few, quite a few blows sometimes. I must be able to express what I feel exactly, because if I can't, I'm not in the right place, and I'm here with you 100%. Yeah. So you should be yourself, Shama Gori, you know, and that's just part of the thing. You're going to be with people, and they may not agree with you, and this goes for everybody, but you still have to be true to yourself. If you want to do that, and you still, happy about what you do that. But the main thing is you're here. Okay? And you just keep increasing that, being here with the devotees. See, you follow the rule. Just follow you can follow two rules. Follow some ekadasi. I don't care. Praise, you can continue to do that. I'll just keep preaching. And whatever is natural for you will just take root. See, it's a cultivation. It's a careful handling, because I notice, if you ever do something against your heart, it could be the most right thing on some highest level, but if you do go against where your heart, and you feel like never works out right. Don't be artificial. So just be yourself there, Shamaguri, even though you may not get the warm regard of anybody here. You still got to be yourself. That's part of the path, is being true to what you are, how you're wired up, and everything. It's careful handling of the fire. That's all I can say. Yeah. And we're all growing. We're all getting better at this. You know.
And Govinda can be himself as well. He can also say what he really wants to say, what
Absolutely.
is on his heart,
That's
and
right.
what's
That goes
really
right.
coming from his heart.
Yeah, yeah. See, and it's the interaction that growth is. See, that's why some people leave here. The purification gets intense, and they just want to kind of be away from it. Like Mina, she had a hard time with the fire gets hot. It's easier to retreat back to where, you take shelter of just the rules, the regulations, and you're alone, more or less. She stays alone. Here it's fiery, and that's part of the baptism. And it'll all work out. Part of it sometimes is you got to just stand your ground. Say, hey man, I'm sorry. Okay, that's fine. That's how you feel, but I need to do this. This is how I am. That's yeah. And everybody's going to be themselves. What I find is interesting is how Lord Chaitanya is very patient. He just you know just he'll stay with us, through when we going through whatever we need to learn our little lessons. And that's how, I notice for me how I feel much happier now is I don't, is I don't have to get into this stuff that people are going through. I can honor that. I go, okay, you're going through this. You need to do this. Okay, fine, do it. I have my way. I have my path now, and I don't need this. And sometimes I do. Like I notice, like I used to get on Sachi's case. You don't need to go through all this stuff and all that. Take this book out and this book out. And you just stay in with bhakti and everything. But I found one time it was very helpful to look into a book, about some kind of psychology of people. It found it was a little helpful for me. Yeah, it made me understand the psychology of what was going on, the conditioning, and it was a little helpful. So everybody, just stay with. I just pray that everybody gets along and stay, even though you're not getting along, but you stay with the fire. You don't go and opt out, or if you do, you just don't go too far. And come back in. When you're ready. Just stay a little bit. So I told devotee, like, okay, this is intense. Okay, just back off and process what you're doing. Prabhupada talked to me. He called it careful handling of the fire because you don't want to get burnt out. Ended up being a little istaghosty today, huh? What do you think, River? What's your little input on all this?
Just let me know about my sound. I don't think it's very good today.
It's good.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we've all got our individual path, and we're all growing differently. We're all doing certain things that, like Lolita, is quite advanced, is very, very advanced, and watching other devotees doing things. It's like letting them grow in their own time, in their own pace, and letting them be able to decide what is not good for them anymore. Letting them
Mhm.
be able to decipher, like, I need to stop this. This is not for me or for others, and just to be able to grow in that, so we can grow up. Make, like you've been teaching me, make your own decisions, Yamuna. Being able to grow yourself and deciding for yourself,
Yeah.
is a great thing. But I love guidance, and I will take it from my peers, because for me, that is the greatest thing, when you have these peers who are telling you something that is beneficial for you and for everybody. It's really, really great. And we
Mhm.
just, I keep getting this thing that we are all going through these paths. They're all different, and we're all in this place. But behind it all, we're actually all working together. Even though we are doing this, like you say, still stay here, still listen,
Mhm.
we are still working together, even though we're going through these things and it looks like we don't like each other and all of
Yeah.
these things. We're just going through that growth of letting go,
Yeah.
to receiving, to living in spirit, because that's what we are. The truth is, we are all spirit, and we want to
Mhm.
let go of all of these things that we are going through. We don't want to pull the skin off, like you say, just don't pull it right off.
Yeah.
And it's, I like the input. I like to be told, Yamuna, they've seen me for so long here.
Yeah.
They can see my patterns. They can see
Yeah.
maybe what I can't see. And that is really, really helpful. It's, yeah, I think the devotees need to not waste their time, and yes, get off the fence.
Mhm.
I understand they need to grow, but sometimes they just need a little push.
Mhm.
I like to be pushed by you. I like to be, Kimuna, you're just paralyzed in that. Get out of that. I like that guidance from you. I like that personally. I like, yeah, it's, everybody's doing what they're doing. I like to hear real conclusive truth. If I'm not being conclusive, or I'm not acting in a conclusive way, I need that to be pointed out,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
path is
Yeah.
amazing, Maharaj. I don't want
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. 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 Like, yeah. And that's why it's not bad to feel like you may not like what people say here, but it's good feedback. All you have to do is sit with it. Just sit with it. Like somebody might simply say, like, this, you're acting like this and this, that. You may not like it. It may make you feel things like sadness or whatever, but that's okay. That's part of the processing. You'll see everything will come out. Um, yeah, this and gradually, you just there's stuff to learn. It's all about learning. Yeah. So in the past, I was even thinking to leave the Sangha because I thought that I am too foolish to understand and growing further. But I also knew if I do that, where will I go and end up being? I just want to honestly continue and sit it out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is a thing. Thinking to leave the sun because I thought I'm too foolish to understand and growing further. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The way we understand is by revelation. You'll see that'll come. Krishna will will give you the understanding. You see, you're not learning some external way, even though somebody may be instructing you from outside, but you'll get revelation. You just sit with it, sit it out, sit with it, how you feel, the sadness and everything. You just gotta, get more and more into this processing thing, understanding this is what people do, even in when they're working on themselves, when they go to a psychologist or psychiatrist. They're going through a process. And spirituality is there's a processing of what we're doing, and it comes by this association. This is like a seminar here. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, and this too foolish to understand, it's not really true. It's not the truth. The truth, you're not too foolish to understand. You wouldn't even be here. It's just mainly you gotta, like take what people say, and you still have to be yourself. You can't, like immediately say, well, I gotta do what you say. You still have to follow your natural course, whatever that is. And just, it'll all work out. Yeah. And sometimes it might even be say, hey, Govinda, I'm sorry, but this is what I want to do, and I just feel like I like to do it. He has his point of view, you have yours. What is this? Oh, it's just, and that's part of it. Sometimes, hey, you can't be, something that you're not. And sometimes it's to stand up and express yourself, Shamagori, and not just keep it inside and think, oh, this is a Vaidhi thing too. They learn, oh, I got to just be a mouse. Oh, be humble, Prabhu. Don't express yourself. So
She's
maybe,
not keeping it inside, the Guru Maharaj. She's
huh?
not keeping it inside. She's not keeping it inside. We had a long talk, me and her, after my video, and now she's
Oh,
talking about it the whole video already. Yeah. She's not keeping it
good.
inside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Shamagori never keeps inside.
Oh,
She's
good.
not.
That's very good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good. Yeah, because I'm not up on everybody's interactions. So, yeah. Okay, good. That's good to hear. Yeah, just be real. Be real. Whatever that your reality is, it grows. Our reality grows. Yeah. What do you think, Tom? What's your hit on all this?
Yes, our reality grows. Yes, every word is so helping me. What you say, and the situation is very There's a lot of synchronicity here because I'm doing this live, and my mother, she was on the door. I have to tell her in a nice way that my priority is here. Yes.
Wow.
So this is, yeah, right on the spot, in real time, what I'm learning, and you are speaking like you are here, like you talk to me now. You can do that, and yeah, yes, you did well by reacting that way, and by it's so like this space, this transcendental space, is the real space, and
Yeah.
the the material what's going on, it's just a perverted reflection for me personal, to learn how to come to you.
Ah, that's amazing. Mother just showed up at the door. Perfect. Huh? That's Krishna. Yeah, all right, man. Okay. All right, let's chant a little bit. Anybody else want to say anything while we're here? Okay, let's chant a little bit, and you can keep your microphones on.
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu
Krishna
Nityananda,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Shri
Rama Hare
Advaita,
Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Oh yes, that is Krishna.
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Rama.
Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna
That is Krishna. Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
that is
Hare Rama
Krishna, Krishna.
Rama Hare Krishna Krishna
Wow, wow, that
Hare
is
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Jai Shri
Hare
Gaura,
Rama Hare Rama
Jai Shri Gaura Hari Das, Jai Shri
Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Gaura
Krishna
Hari Das.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama.
Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna. Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare, Hare, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare, Hare, Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare, 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 Rama, Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare, Hare, Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare, 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 Rama, Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare, Krishna, Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare,
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare, Rama, Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare,
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare,
Hare Hare, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, 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 Rama, Rama, Hare, 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 Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Rama, Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare, 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 Krishna, Hare, Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare, Hare, Rama, Hare, Rama, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna, Hare, Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Hare, Rama, 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 Hare, Hare, Krishna, Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, 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 Rama, 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 Hare, Hare, Krishna, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Nityananda, 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 Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu, Nityananda, Prabhu, Advaita,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Chaitanya, Sri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Sri
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Sri
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Sri
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Sri
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Sri
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Chaitanya, Sri Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Jesus Nityananda.
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Nityananda.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Jesus Nityananda.
Hare
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Nityananda.
Ram Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Jesus
Ram
Nityananda. Shri Krishna
Hare
Nityananda.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Shri Krishna.
Ram Ram Hare.
Jesus Nityananda. Shri Krishna Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Chandra Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Okay, reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I mean Chaitanya Bhagavat. So, continuing on with Sridhar's prayers on in let's see, this is page 353, Majjhikanda, chapter 9. 353. Sridhar says, "You told me earlier that the Mother Ganga that I worship has emanated from your lotus feet. Yet, due to my sinful heart, I could not recognize you. You told me earlier that the Mother Ganga that I worship has emanated from your lotus feet." That's so deep, actually. Mother Ganga emanated from the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya. See, it's from his words. See, the Mother Ganga. See, so means so many things. Mother Ganga in the form of devotion, the devotional potency, that love of God. See, and the Mother Ganga, the personality, the actual person. See, that's the three in one. See, Satchidananda. That person is the eternal form of the devotee. The Mother Ganga sprung from the lotus feet, the glorification of the mother and father. See, lotus feet of the Lord is Radha and Krishna. See, it springs from that. See, that's why you become a goddess of fortune. See, this springs from the glorification. That's why you hear from devotees who have the ecstatic potency. See? And then you become a transcendentally charged person. See, charged. You charged with a mission to help deliver the living entities, part of the plan of God. See? You're in His superior plan, not in the inferior. There's a lot of servants in the world. Everybody's a servant of the Lord, but this, I mean, we're here to collect servants who want to who spring from the glorification of the transcendental Lord. Okay? And then you become like the Ganga. You purify people. You become better than the Ganga in that sense, because the Ganga doesn't speak to you. The Ganga does. It's like just the water, but there's some subtle purification. But this becomes not only subtle purification, but very overt, become pronounced. You go through stuff, baptism by fire. You don't feel it. How many people feel the baptism by fire by taking a bath in the Ganga? See, it's still a bit watery, it takes longer time of purification. Yeah. Yet due to my sinful heart, I could not recognize you. Yeah, and that's the situation for everybody. He's just speaking from the point of view of the world. Because of people's hearts, they cannot recognize God. They cannot recognize God in His name. If you do, you'll be chanting like the devotees here chant. Look, even Tom, he's starting to laugh and cry and all that. See, his heart's being purified by Sadhu Sangha. You know how many devotees have been following Krishna consciousness for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and they're still not laughing and crying when they chant Hare Krishna. But you are, and others are, because that's the idea. The Lord sends his real devotees who purify very quickly, more than the holy places. See, proof that you could be going to you know how many people go to the holy places and they still not laughing and crying like you, Tom, after 40 years, 50 years. That's why these verses are in force. Everything the Lord says is here. Purify. Devotees of your caliber are virtual places of pilgrimage. Places of pilgrimage purify after a long time. My deity form purifies after a long time. The taking a bath in Ganga purifies after a long time. You purify just by being seen, much less heard from. That's the kind of devotional service going on here. Ecstatic devotional service is that its nature is powerful. The most power. Lord Caitanya came to show the glories of ecstatic devotional service. And it did the same thing. Why are we above our master? When the Lord started to express ecstatic devotional service, practically the whole town wanted to railroad it. Well, not the whole town, only the Brahmins. See, they're too attached to doing things a certain way in a more material, like for materialistic devotees, who don't understand the spiritual anymore. You have to chant a certain. They had a problem with Lord Chaitanya chanting Gopi Gopi Gopi, and you're supposed to chant Krishna. Our parampara has taught us to chant this name like this regulative way, exactly like this. Stop chanting that way. See, they want to instruct. They want to instruct an ecstatic devotee. And see, that's so they caused the problem. See? But the lower classes came first. Lower classes are just the ones who are not too attached to the rules and regulations. That's why Paul went to the Gentiles. These guys who are worshiping according to the rules and regulations and mandates, and you have to do this and you must do this, and they were dry, and they liked the dry path, and they thought we need to instruct the ecstatic devotees like Paul. He said, and you guys, you don't listen. See, you guys are in religion. I say the same thing to the Vaishnava. You guys don't listen. You're in religion. So we'll go to the Amy's and the Fannies who are not too attached to, they can learn. Otherwise, you're all you do is find faults with the devotees. Okay, so he went to the regular people and they received it better, just like here. Sometimes we get Vaidhi Bhaktas and a lot of them leave because they go back to that, and go back to the pride. They think, well, it's easier to be proud because everybody else is, proud of my austerities. My ex-wife, she's proud of being able to do Ekadasi. She thinks, oh, I'm so much better than Gaur Haridas because I can fast. And because, I do the regular Ekadasis, and I do this, and I do Nirjal, and look at him. He's just having a good time. And he does. I go and I stay in Radhakund, and he doesn't even know the value of being in Radhakund. See, all this, they think they know better than a devotee who chants the holy name in ecstatic devotion. It shows they don't know. See, that's what you get. You become less intelligent. That's called less intelligent. You have more intelligence than a person in the world who doesn't follow any rules. It's more intelligent to follow rules and austerities and everything. It gives you a better position, a better happiness than people that are just wanton, just enjoying sense enjoyment and have no austerity, no regulation, and all that. You get a higher happiness. But things get turned around when a devotee preaches, because then those persons who may not follow rules and they're in the mode of passion or ignorance even, but they take to the association of devotees and they listen and they hear, they get a higher result. That's why St. Paul went to the Gentiles, the people, ordinary people, because they listened, not everybody, but those who did come, which were more, they listened to the devotee, they heard and they felt the happiness of just hearing from the devotees about the transcendental Lord. And they went with that. That's because that's what the devotee. That's all I go. I go with the happiness I get from chanting Hare Krishna. I found it is all in all. I found, boy, if I just do that, I'll overcome every problem in the world. But I've got enough experience in that. Yeah, chanting Hare Krishna and taking shelter of the devotees here and hearing about Krishna and Lord Caitanya regularly every day. I don't even have to be fanatic. Yeah. Bhaktitam, you and Krishna shake my priorities until it's settled in the right circle. Yeah. Once it's settled, then Maya can't touch you. You can go amongst the illusory energy here. And Maya won't touch you because you don't have any faith in her. You don't have faith in the modes of nature, not even goodness to purify you, because now you have faith in the transcendental name of God. And then everything is in perspective. Mode of goodness is okay for the body. Keep it regulated. Could put good food in it. Breathe the air. Can't make clean air. It's good for the body, right? Because the body's in the modes. But that's it. I mean, I don't worship recycling. I don't get life from recycle. Okay, put the can in the recycle thing if it's available. If okay, fine. But it's like automatic. Like Lord Chaitanya, because he was a Brahmin, right? He said, "I got a Brahmin body." He was ecstatically worshiping Krishna, and then he would do these Brahman duties automatically, not even thinking about it. He didn't get any life from that. He got his life from ecstatic worship. He would just do these out of habit, he just, all these other things, just because he didn't feel that was his way of happiness and purification and inspiration comes from this ecstatic path, this ecstatic worship, ecstatic devotees. Okay, that's why people need this experience. You need to come into. You can't do this alone. You need to be around devotees that are ecstatic devotees. Here, demons are recycled and come out exactly. And you don't save the whales either. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could save the whales. I mean, it's a kind of a good thing to do for the whale's sake, Okay, fine. But you don't want to spend I mean, if you want to, but I don't want to spend my whole time saving whales, or saving trees, especially when the demons right now, they're burning them up. It's a futile thing. The demons have their little satellites up there, and they're just turning forests into blazing fires now. That's what they're doing. If you don't believe that, well, you don't believe the Bhagavatam, because that's the nature of demons. I love to know. I like to know who's who in this world. That's all. It's nice because then I don't have to get into trying to rectify what they're destroying. That's why that's why one is very fortunate to develop faith in the holy name, and very fortunate to develop faith in these scriptures. Because these scriptures are not really about, man, this is about rules, regulations, and all this. No, this is about the pastimes of the Lord, even in Maya. They're the inferior pastimes. They're in the inferior energy, but it's not. It's good to know what's going on here. Otherwise, that way you don't get think, oh, okay, that's automatically happening. Yeah, Bill Gates is doing his thing. He can't help it, man. He's forced. He's in a mode of passion and ignorance. It's his nature to control people. It's his nature to make profits on people. It's his nature to look at people like with disdain and just see them as resources. It's his nature to be a hypocrite and to lie to you, think that he's trying to do you for your benefit. No, he's just trying to benefit him and his friends, elites. They don't give a shit about anybody. They think you're stupid. They think you're stupid for believing in them. They think you should be wiped out because you're not smart enough to survive. Survival, they're into Darwin. See, none of the devotees here know anything about these things. I learned in 2 years, I learned all about the essence of what's going on here, at least in the world. I know how these people think. They're Darwinists. They think, hey, man, survival of the fittest, man. If you're stupid enough to believe in our lies and hypocrisy, you should be taken off the planet. And the Lord is thinking sort of the way he's saying, well, if they won't take shelter of my devotees and develop ecstatic devotion at this time, at this day, I've waited long enough. And the Lord Caitanya in this Kali Yuga is very special. He's very merciful, and he'll take anybody into the spiritual dimension of consciousness. And if you don't take advantage of that, well, you'll be taken out. This is this time. Can you hear the message? Anybody listening out there? You Vites out there, you know now you have the opportunity to come to the ecstatic platform. Otherwise, you'll be taken out. Your gurus are already assisting in taking you out. They're telling you to get injected. That's part of taking you out. Because you listen to them and not us. Even some people here don't listen to me fully, but at least they're here. That's the main thing. Yeah, your gurus out there. That's why hey man, I'm more bold now in this preaching. They're here taking you out, man, because you won't listen here. You believe in them. It's, hey man, I'm going to tell you the truth now. It's time. The truth will set you free or not. Only not because you believe in them. You believe Acharya Dev can save you or Radhanath can save you, and they're telling you to get the shot. They ain't going to save you. They're the hypocrites now. They're part of the hypocrisy of the world. They're serving the world's hypocrisy, the deception of it. They ain't going to save nothing. If you don't, come and learn the real truth and be set free, you're going to be taken out. See, the strong will survive. They're right. Bill Gates is right. The strong will be survived. But we get strength. We get the spiritual strength of God. There's a difference, man. That's stronger than Billy Boy out there. That's stronger than all the elites together. They come from my Lord. So you want that kind of strength? Well, that's available here, man. It's pretty amazing, actually. We got the grace of Lord Caitanya, who comes once every 4,320,000,000 years, Tom. Oh, where's Tom? Here we go. Back up. Yeah, you want this? Yeah, it's uncommon what we do. There were just a few of us right now. You want to be part of the few, the elites here? Yeah, we're elites. And you know what? We're not like them. That's polluted mentality. Their hearts are not pure. We're elites. It's really true. But you know what? You can be part of the elites here. We're open door policy here. Equal opportunity, equitable. My Lord, he's got tons of energy and life and love and purification and knowledge. Everything you guys, you got so little. So, your choice now. Isn't it nice? You really get it. You just really tell it like it is, man. Maybe Shamaguri will get inspired. You tell them like it is. Go out there and tell those guys, hey, man, you want to live? Come with us. I could just see Shamaguri coming out there saying, hey there, you. Come with us if you want to live. Otherwise, what are the gurus are telling them to get the shots and all that? That's not praiseworthy. Why praise them? You don't see Gohari telling them to get shots and put poison in their arms and masks on, all that baloney. Replying David Likes, I do think that we should recycle and save the whales, obviously, okay. But that act done in the mode of goodness is not what is going to deliver one back to Krishna. See, that's conclusive. This path is the ticket to Vrindavan, yeah. Yeah, you should recycle all that, and it's so funny if you do the research and you see what's going on, they're dumping poison. I have a video. Dumping poison in the water system, literally poisoning the water system. They are depopulating this world. For God's sake, come on, wake up, man. And you want to do your little recycle. Don't have any faith that that's going to deliver you, man. As you're trying to do all these things here, put all your energy into that, they're poisoning everything. They're burning up the forest. They're burning up your food supply. Come on, man, wake up. See at least what's going on here. Don't be part of the sheeple out there that are completely oblivious to what's going on. There's a cleansing of this planet of all that now. See, get into this cleansing. This is the real cleansing. Come here, hear about transcendental truth. Become ecstatic. That's the main thing. You see here, did you see the chanting here? The devotees all ecstatically chanting God's name, man. That's powerful. That's the important thing. You're a liberated soul when you do that. You chant like that. That's what you can get coming here. Come on, man. I asked you the question now. Are you getting that? Are you ecstatic like you see the devotees here chanting the holy name, being with Radhanath for 20 years? Or Acharya Dev and Krishna West? Are you ecstatic like this? Because this is Krishna consciousness. Is ecstatically chanting Krishna's name. That's the whole point of Krishna consciousness, is to ecstatically chant the holy name. What do you think? I'm a liar? No, you're a liar. You're a hypocrite if you don't know that or believe that. You're teaching something else other than Lord Caitanya taught, is to ecstatically chant the holy name. Do you not see the whole book is about that? Him and his devotees ecstatically chanting the holy name with tears and laughter and having a great time, bringing Vrindavan to this planet. That's what they do in Vrindavan. They're overwhelmed with the holiness and they're complete and whole in their ecstatically worshiping God's names. And their God was in this form. But now we have his name, which is his form. And when you become an ecstatic chanter, you have cracked the safe. You are now safe. See, the safe, man, it's open and the treasure is out. And your whole life is now as you're engaged in the service of the Lord's real desire is to liberate the souls by being in Him and Him in us. See? So to forget about, don't be so like, oh, you got this condition and you got conditioned in that. We all got the fertilizer. Be more concerned about, is Krishna in this person? Because if Krishna is in that person, they'll laugh and they'll cry and they'll have the conclusive understanding. They'll know the importance of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and they'll be dedicated to that. And if there's a little bit of, don't worry about it at all. The main thing is increase that ecstatic worship of the Lord, and then all will be well. You just take shelter of that and those devotees. Yeah, it's true. Come with us if you want to live. To me, this is life. What you think life is about? Just ceremony. To that's what the Lord. I thank God the Lord is giving me His ideas. That's external bhakti, man. Tell me something more. Isn't that a just? Isn't it nice to think like that? Or are you still like the thing, oh, tell me something more of the rules and regulations and external ceremonies? Tell me more external. Well, God, well, anyway, that's not what we do here. Tell me something more about the intimate truth about God, man. Tell me what's something more that's more important to God than that level. Is anybody like that, or you want to be taken out, man? You got to go into the rapture, man. And we don't wait for some rapture out there. We become enraptured by Krishna every day. That's what it's all about. You know what is this? Is a Christian thing, and this is where they need more conclusive understanding about the rapture. Yeah, it's true. The rapture is going on, man, and people's bodies are being raised at this moment. They're waiting for the rapture is going to come, and these physical bodies are going to go up in the air. No, the ecstatic body is going to come up into the life airs, into your heart, into your eyes, into your worship, into your understanding. We're already enraptured, man. Talk about prophecies, man. You get into Lord Caitanya, you will prophesize, man. You will tell people the real situation that nobody's ever done. No Christian knows what you just heard. And this is very true. We create our own verses, like Lord Caitanya. Huh? It's his verses, man. These come from him, man. I'm just a flute, man, and he's the flautist. Sometimes he plays me, sometimes I play him. That's how you play with Krishna and Vrindavan. Mutual. You just take advantage of each other. He takes it. I'm going to take you. Gohari Das, preach what I want in this world, and Gohari is going to take advantage of me to preach what he wants in this world. Now, how would you like to have that kind of relate? That's Vrindavan. That's how they roll there. Intimate mingling with the Lord. And you bet your little booties that this preaching is going to be different than anything you heard in ISKCON and even with the illustrious Narayan Raj group. Those proud, even different than them. Yeah, this is more powerful, more real, more effective. You take this medicine and you become ecstatic. Like he said, it would take many lifetimes before you become ecstatic. Like him that we didn't see, of course, no show, no show. Therefore, you don't go. You don't get to go to Vrindavan. It's a no show. It's a no go. Jeev Jagos, Jeev Jogos, Jeev Jago. Also, there are so many things needing saving right now. I just heard another. Remember my restream circling. Okay. Oh, circling. Why is that? Okay. Another thing really tugged on my heartstrings about Native American tribe community in Nova Scotia, whom are having their reserved land taken from them through faulty loopholes in the law. And these greedy smucks. Yeah, and that's the thing. They see even the American Indians. A lot of it is all back down to ritual. See, that's why we may have our lands taken and all that. And if you're too much into that, that's the Vaiti. See, they need the temples, they need their lands, they identify with that still. See, devotees, they're rooted in Vrindavan. This is our land. You can't take our land away. How can you take our land away? Our land of Vrindavan. See, we got Vrindavan land, the most expensive land that nobody can, they don't have enough price to pay for that, right? You can't take our land away. We could give you some land. Does anybody want some? We're selling. Did you know? Oh, another hat. I'm a real estate broker. I'm here selling real estate. See, you come here. We're looking for investors, and the thing is, everybody is qualified or can be. Just come here. The investment is you come here and give us your ears, give us your attention over here. See, that's the investment. Money, not necessary. Come and give us your ears. Yeah, come attention. Put your attention over here, and we'll give you the land of Vrindavan. This land is great, man. Nobody can confiscate it. It's better than Bitcoin. You know why people like Bitcoin? That are intelligent, because the government can't confiscate it, but they'll probably figure out a way because it's still material. But oh man, the land of Vrindavan, the government can't confiscate it, man, and it is vast and it grows, man. Our investment grows, doesn't it, Lalita? Isn't that amazing? And look at Tom's investment; he's starting to pick up dividends. His land is growing, the land of Vrindavan. And Radha's interest, she's looking at Tom now. She's got her eye on him now. She's got the one eye on Tom. See, come get the land. We got land, man. This land is fantastic, man. It's inconfiscatable. The government can't take it away. We can give land to the government. Hey, why don't we be merciful, Lalita? Let us give the government some land. Let's give Biden some land, Trump. And these guys are poor. Bill Gates, all of them, they're very poor people. They don't have any land in Vrindavan. See, this is the land they want that lasts forever, man. You got to land. You see, you got to come. I'm a real estate agent here. I'm here. I'm a broker. Actually, I'm a broker and I'm making real estate agents. We got Lalita out there. Johan, Tom are our agents. You're out there selling land. Selling Vrindavan land. Come to the land of Vrindavan, man. It's great, man. It's great. Houses manifest just spontaneously. Living environments, all that's no problem, man. What happened here? Okay. Oh, where was I? Lost here in the land of Vrindavan. See, you are the embodiment of the highest esoteric process. Can you imagine? This is so fantastic, man. Lord Chaitanya is the embodiment of the highest esoteric process. Usually you think of an esoteric process very difficult to learn, you know? Very, very, this is what they say, oh, it takes a lot to learn all these different things. But just by the association of the Lord, who, when you become an associate of Lord Chaitanya, you become the embodiment also of the highest esoteric process in this world. You teach it. You teach, just become a friend of Lord Chaitanya. And then you get all these examples. Oh, look at Lalita. Oh, look at Maria coming. Look at this. She's getting, the Lord Chaitanya walks into her life and her life becomes more and more auspicious. Everything just works more and more. All I do is I just help remind her. You know, she says, when she was busy yesterday, I just said, just remember Lord Caitanya. She says, oh, thank you very much for reminding me. There she is, back for more. Yeah. Yeah, the embodiment of the highest esoteric process. And if you come here and the more you're around the devotees, you start to see that personally. You realize, wow, look at this. The highest esoteric process is loving God, love of God. He was the embodiment of love of God. And he wants to give that. You become the embodiment also, embodied love of Krishna in your body. And that's so deep and the highest thing that look, the Vaidis have a hard time understanding it. They go against it and they criticize it and everything. And we're embodying the highest esoteric process as a gift from Lord Caitanya through his parampara, through the bona fide representative of that embodiment of the highest esoteric process. That's why we teach it here. Yeah, everything we teach here is all about the embodiment of the highest. We embody that, loving Krishna, ecstatic and praising that, praising love of Krishna, praising spontaneous devotional service, praising Raganuga Bhakti, praising entering into this Sangha, praising these rules. You know, have Radha and Krishna rule you, rule over you, surrender that. Could you imagine having the association of the most beautiful beings in all of the universes? People are attracted to the beauty, right? They love beauty. They love a beautiful man, beautiful. But oh, that just doesn't last, does it? Those bodies of bodily beauty, but this body, the body of the Lord, lasts forever and gets more and more beautiful. You notice that, Lalita, and you're chanting. You know, the body of the Lord becomes more and more beautiful, more attractive. See, more convincing, makes you more dedicated naturally. That's right. Vaidis are in war with Raganuga Bhakti. And Bhaktas, why? Because we want to conquer the Vaidis. They want to conquer us, right? Well, it's war. And who's going to win? Krishna always wins. The real Krishna, the transcendental Krishna wins, doesn't he? Isn't 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 the transcendental form of the Lord more powerful than his Vishnu form? You know, in the mode of goodness, didn't Krishna ultimately conquer Jarasandha 27 times? He beat him. Go ahead there, Lalita.
We are on the marketplace. We are selling Lord Chaitanya's transcendental body. And we've got to explain that it's better than following all those rules and regulations. We've got to explain. So we advertise. We advertise Lord Chaitanya's body. We praise what's better. And if they can't hear it, yeah, what to do?
See, when you say they can't, they do hear it. They hear but don't hear, but there's something.
Want. Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
language.
yeah,
Want
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They hear but don't hear, but they hear the vibration. That's what they hear. So it's like see whether they ask for it or not, they get it. This is the way Lord Chaitanya is doing it. Whether they ask for it or not, he's here. He comes. He preaches. He shows. And just like love, okay, love not war. Yeah. And what is your idea of love? Love sometimes is chastisement. Love sometimes is being soft. It just depends. Lord Chaitanya, out of love, he chastised people just like a father or mother does, out of love, to protect. you know Sometimes the mother, they sometimes put their child's hand in a fire so they can see. You see, it burns, pull it out really fast. See, don't do that in to learn. So there's different ways of learning. See, and this is all spontaneous under the direction of the Lord. When the devotees surrender to this spontaneous path, being around spontaneous devotees, and you start doing, then the Lord will spontaneously use whatever method is appropriate in the moment. You know, but this make love not war thing is just this new age bullshit stuff. It's not very, it's a good mode of goodness thing. It means you don't know um, the depth of love. It's just like Kahil Jabram. That poem, when I read it, moves me because it moves Krishna. There's truth in it. If love finds you worthy, it'll descend. It'll ascend to your tenderest leaves and caress them, and then descend to your roots and shake them from their clinging to the ground, to the earth. See, I always love that thing. It's very powerful. So, and if that's if love finds you worthy. If otherwise you won't, you'll pass at a love's threshing floor. See, there's a threshing that goes on here. You're thrashed and threshed and sifted. You know, and if you don't want to go through that, then you pass out of love's threshing floor. See, that's the purification, and then you will not cry all your deepest tears or laugh all your deepest laughter. Isn't that funny? That he had no idea clearly about devotional mellows, but not like we do, or some of us do, and yet he expressed it perfectly because that's how you get through this. That's why Lalita, she went through a lot. Now she, look at her laughing and crying now. See, that depth comes from that purification. Look at River. She's going through a lot of, obviously, even though some people still have a hard time with it. Hey, look at her laughing and crying and choking up and all that stuff. So that's because of purification, a lot of it. And if you don't like my praising some devotees, and you think, well, that's that's your problem of looking at the fertilizer. I see things that, oh, the fertilizer is working very nice. Look at all the ecstasy. Look at all that. Look at the dedication they have. Look at how they're going through all that purification, the tough spots. Lalita went through a lot of stuff, man. River goes through a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I stay happy because I know to look what to look at now. Freddie says, replying to Amy Rose, that's a dark materialistic concept to justify one's own self. Okay, let's see what that materialistic desire is. Let's see what Freddie, if he's on the money here. Anyway, can't see. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead who previously blessed Gokul with your appearance. By his devotional service, Bhishma defeated you in battle, making you break your promise. In the same way, Mother Yashoda bound you. We'll do more of this later. I think it's time to move around a little bit. I'm going to take an early walk. So give us a word there before you go there, Lalita, while you're up.
I don't really know what to say, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
You always say that.
Well, I've said a lot already. So I don't know whether one more.
Okay, we'll give you another chance in a little bit. River, give us a word.
Can you hear me okay? It's not been
Perfectly.
very good today
Perfect.
by
That's
Restream.
perfectly.
It's okay. You know, when you say things and we don't understand them, when we actually go through it and we come out and so experience what you were saying to us, what you were really saying to us, you know, like about, you know, don't look at the fertilizer, you know, look at the flower. Or I couldn't understand that before, you know, but it's great to actually, you know, I like to look at the whole picture of everything, not just but it is, we're just growing at our own times, and we're all trying to just, you know, sometimes it's like you see everybody else's point of view because you see where they're at, but they
Yeah.
refuse to understand your point of view. But you can see what's happening to them.
Yeah.
That happens with me a lot with Karuna. You know, he refuses to understand me. I understand what's happening to him. But here, Marge, we can grow. Nothing's been greater than growing, to moving, to have movement and come out of paralysis, you know, because of this illusion, but to move and grow, just held here. All the other things that happen, I'm so sorry, you know, I'm so sorry about all of those things, but I'm growing, you know, and I'm growing towards being a pillar. You know, I want to be a pillar. I need
Yeah.
to be a pillar. You know,
Yeah.
I've had a pillar, you know, I've been on welfare all my life,
Yeah.
practically.
Yeah.
This is the greatest welfare. Now, I received material welfare for the material body to be
Yeah.
able to give transcendental welfare
Yeah.
to others. It's really nice. It's a great place. We have a great family. It's just about patience, letting go, you know, of what we do, what we all do, and just keep moving on. Let's keep on going, because we have a great head. We have the greatest representative of the Lord here, holding a space for us all, bringing everything that we need individually. What we need is coming through. And
Yeah.
the more we realize that, the more we go through that, the more we sit on this, the more we want to sit on this side, the more we want to represent the Lord, because representing the Lord is not Vaidhi, really. We're bringing the Lord through to drown out that lesser, that kind of worship. It's all here. Thank you very much. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you to the devotees. Thank you to Lita. It's wonderful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Great. Thanks, River. Tom, give us a word.
I wrote it down. There are funny ways to help them snap out of their attachments to illusion. There are funny ways to help them let go. Yeah, because I was reading this method when you when a pit bull, when he doesn't want to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, his bite. You can method one is you grasp his tail and pull on his tail. I thought that's a funny way, but there are three other methods also. So the deeper meaning is people they have this attachment, and they have this focus, and um, to snap out of it, it can happen in different ways.
Mm.
And there are yeah there there are some funny ways we can help them.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you. Hey, read this from Philip. What does he say? Philip Michael.
I have to look at Facebook. Okay. um, this is helping me to stay focused on the spiritual life and have a better understanding of the way of God, Krishna, and Jesus, etc., and seeing through the deception of the politicians and the Darwin and eugenics, false science and education system. It's a long text. The environmentalists want to turn farmers into land into wildlife parks after their farms don't conform to their nitrate levels, and they have clean air zones to find car owners that don't conform to the emissions levels. So they buy up the land and want to rebuild the original land as it was, like wildlife parks, and restore the planet. They call it rewilding. Rewilding. Last sentence. Not hearing because of mental or spiritual blocks. Not hearing blocks. And trying to listen with clarity.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the main thing is this is what's happening. This is a big plan, right? Obviously, they've been working on this, been worked on for a long time, and some people are fighting it naturally because it's different, and it doesn't seem to be working very good. This stuff they're trying to do, and there's a lot of material motives in it, and it's not perfect. It's perfect in a way that the modes of nature are just interacting, you know but if anybody wants a way out quick, come to Sadhu Sangha, man. Come and get this land that they can't take away. See, get this farm that will last forever, where they can't take your farming away. We can farm the Lord. We can have the land of Vrindavan. See, this is eternal to do with our spirit. And this is what's real. This is what's important to the Lord. And the more people do this, the more this will change automatically. People will change. Bill Gates will change. All of that. It will not be necessary. The Lord will look, and you will look. People will think and feel, wow, this is wonderful. This is and people's hearts will change. People's hearts will become purified and start to see how the Lord sees. And then even while on this planet, the planet people will do things that are actually truly from a purified heart. But yeah, and if they don't, they don't. But more people will. Like we're here, to bring as many as we can to the land of Vrindavan, to Mayapur, to see God. It's like Jesus said. Here is like the fulfillment of the word of Jesus. Blessed are the hearts, blessed are the pure in heart, they shall see God. We have the process of purifying the heart. Sadhu Sangha, chanting the holy names and ecstatic devotees association, purifies the heart. You can see it does because there are symptoms. The devotees become enlivened, they become ecstatic, they cry, they laugh. This is highly purifying to the heart. See, the highest esoteric process. We become the embodiments here for the world of the highest esoteric process. It's amazing now that I think about it some
Yes.
more. See, this is it, and things will naturally change. The truth of the scriptures become manifest. Hey, man, my preaching has been. I was preaching to an empty camera for 20 years, more or less. 22 years. But what comes from it? Purification to the point people are coming. Look, even the thing, increase. You know how it's been since we were here preaching. I didn't never had 17, 20, 25, 2 people today. But it's increasing. The purification is increasing. The people are getting inspired. Why? Because the truth is increasing. The land of Vrindavan is increasing. People are starting to see this is tangible. Wow, we're promoting a Lord that you can't see, you can't hear, you can't feel with the mundane, blunt material senses, but people are starting to perceive it. Why? Their spiritual form and body is beginning to manifest. They're starting to say, wow, I'm starting to get this, starting to see this, starting to perceive it myself, the subtle form of God. See, this is what's going on. This is the New World Order. This is a joyful thing. The New World Order is Vrindavan, man. Turn the earth into Vrindavan. Not into the opposite is a dystopian future. That is the future of those who don't surrender to the happiness of God, to his desire, to his plan. This is Lord Caitanya. Let us learn Lord Chaitanya's plan for God's sake. He came here once every 4 billion years. If you're not on learning about Lord Chaitanya's plan, Lord Chaitanya's happiness, Lord Chaitanya's gift, well, you'll be taken out. The Lord comes here once in a blue moon. You want to learn even more about Jesus's plan, learn about Lord Chaitanya. Like come here. I think we're the only ones who are really practically, effectively ascertaining the Lord's plans because of this ecstatic worship that no one seems to be doing. Yeah, like I said, love not war. I can't help it. This is love. This is the loving Krishna is ecstatically worship. That I can't demonstrate any deeper love than that. Nobody here can. And unfortunately, actually not unfortunately, fortunately, it causes war. People are warring against us. Look at Ram Das Vijayabhai. He hates this. He hates Lalita chanting in ecstasy and sharing conclusive truth. After all, in his mind, she's got a smaller brain, right? He sees a woman. We know women, from his perspective, should be seen and not heard, right? And she doesn't care. She doesn't listen to Ram Das Vijayavasi. She's not humble by being repressed. That's humbleness to those kind of devotees, is to be repress you. Oh, that you got to be more humble there, Lalita. Keep your mouth shut. Let me speak over you. She's not being very humble. Yeah, I don't want that kind of humbleness either. Yeah, you can take your humbleness, your repression, in the form of it's a lie, man. That ain't humbleness, man. Yeah, so this is yeah. So great. Thank you for sharing there, um, Michael. Is it Michael? Philip Michael. Yeah, seemed like a new person. Has he been coming? Anybody? Have you noticed him? Maybe he's been one of the people listening for a while. Maybe some people there must be 19 people, 22 people today. There's some people maybe just listening, checking it out. Andromeda says, "Hallelujah! Getting more likes from new people on these live streams I share on my page. Oh, hopefully they are actually watching and listening." Great. Yeah. It's really amazing for the good order. This is the new world order, the Lord's order. Yeah, yeah. It's playful, isn't it nice? It's so nice. The Lord, wants to play in this world through us. Isn't that amazing? I love that. Hey man, have your way more. Just play more here. Yeah. People all want to play. We're all kids inside, right? Inside, I'm tired of this. What did Jesus say? He forecasted the future. You must become as little child to enter the kingdom of God.
That means being receptive and not being a Vaidi, because Vaidis are not like children. They come as a know-it-all.
They're very serious.
Yeah, and children, they come eager to learn, eager to see. That's our
Yeah,
child.
yeah, become like that. Yeah. Amy says, "Sit quiet and look pretty. Speak when spoken to." Govinda, we met in Coventry with Tommy. Oh, okay, great, great, awesome. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's go and go out and what do you call mingle. Shamaguri, you go mingle with the Vaides there and attract them to our preaching.
But that doesn't work like that. Doesn't.
Well,
To pull some pitbull tails. Let's go
actually,
pull.
yeah, actually, attraction doesn't always mean that kind of attraction is aversion too. That's an
Yeah,
attraction.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Oh, you
attractive
guys.
is
Yeah,
sorry.
Ramdas Vijayavasi might become one of our best proponents here. We'll
Yeah.
see, because he was naturally attracted before until we started speaking, and showing. Be careful any hole. Oh yeah, my God, yeah. Can't believe it. I just fell right in that hole. That boom. But hey, my leg is almost like new, better than new. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. We'll see you soon.